Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively. I am using this beautiful paper, Friends of the Ocean. I love the other sides. I didn't get the rest. I don't live by the ocean, and so I didn't get it. But I paired it with the terrific Toadstools. This suite is going to be in the new annual catalog. So I needed some dies, and so I went to, I'm using the terrific Toadstools. I went to the Mint to Be, which is an online exclusive. These are the dies that I loved. The shape is what I wanted to use. Sorry about the glare. We're working on the glare. So these are the shape of the dies I wanted to use. And this is how I created my card. What do you think? Let me show you how I did it. They did it at camp with a high success rate. And so I always feel like if I can get a high success rate at camp, I can show it to you. So I took the punch, and I punched this first because it lines up easy enough that I can do that. So I'm going to punch it out of the very vanilla. I have my 3 pieces. I'm going to use my silicone mat. I'm going to stamp it on there, and then I'm going to do some, use my adhesive with it. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this here. Okay, I'm going to scooch it more towards me. I'm not right on top of it, and I can't see. Oh, there we go. I'm using the basic gray. There's my stem. So there's my stem. And then I have Melon Mambo for my big mushroom. Top. We finally have a little spring in Indiana. The sun's shining. That's not so beautifully smooth like I want it to be. So I'm going to do it again. Sometimes when I'm doing these really bold stamps, I just need to hold it there for a minute and be patient. Let's see if this one looks better. Yep, that's better. So that one is in Melon Mambo. This one is in my pumpkin pie. Now this one I better get right because I can't turn over. It goes this way. Well, I could, but I live in the woods and we will have morel mushrooms soon. If you've never had a mushroom, I highly recommend it. So then I'm going to take my 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 cardstock. I'm going to fold it in half. Oh, I guess I could have scored it. Scored it at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to cut off 2 inches. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to cut off the 2 inches. And I want to make sure this is creased well. So I like to use my bone folder and slide it. Now I have, it's laying flat, the way I like it. I'm going to take my seal. I'm going to put this piece of Designer Series paper right across the bottom. That 2-inch window. Come on. I looked up and thought maybe I cut that a little crooked because I have a little, I'm going to trim that off. Distracted me, I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put that adhesive down. So I am going to make sure this is straight. Now I feel better. So this is not hard to put together. I took those dies, and when I got the dies, I always have to run them through because I'm never sure what they're going to do. So this did different than what I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to get this piece. So in my head, when I designed the project, I was getting this piece. I didn't realize that you got a bonus piece, which is that piece right there. So this does the same thing. So I have my vanilla and the designer series paper, and then I have these bonus pieces, and it will cut two of these at once. So I cut the designer series paper and the vanilla at the same time. So there you go. So now let me show you how I put it together. Again, not hard. It just takes a moment, 1 moment please, of brain power. So I'm going to put the bottom down first. And what I did was I laid on this piece, on my silicone mat, I laid the vanilla and the back side of this, and I laid them on top of each other so I could go around this, and I'm doing the edge of both. And then I'm going to lay it, you can see here, I'm going to lay it so the edge of that is right on where I have the DSP. So I'm going this way and I'm putting it right on the edge of that DSP. Just like that. Then this pumpkin pie piece, I'm going to use my silicone mat again, and I'm just going to hit the corners. Now, my campers are like, I want to use green glue, and I said, well, you're not, because you will squish it out the sides, and then we'll all be sad, because we'll have green glue everywhere. So then I'm just going to lay that around it. Okay? Then this piece of my, I'm going to do this way, is going to lay right, see, it's, I'm going to scooch it down. So it lays right inside that pumpkin pie. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. I'm going to turn it over and lay it in here and go around the outside edges again. And lay this right in the center. Isn't it cute? It wasn't what I had in my head, but I liked the way it worked out. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this basic gray again. I'm going to stamp this stem over here. And then I'm going to add this stem to this dude. Okay. And then I'm just going to line that up. So there's the bottom. Oh, I did the opposite colors. I did the opposite. I mean, right? The best laid plans. I was sure I was copying the exact card. Obviously not. So on this one, I stamped up. I put that up with the dimensional. And then I like to put a little seal on here and then a little bit on the bottom. I could use glue dots too, but this seemed to work just fine. So I'm going to put that there. Now I want to add the You Are Magical. And you all know how we do this, right? So I'm going to make sure this is cleaned off well. even though it was cleaned off well enough that I forgot which colors I stamped these. It's the opposite, which is totally fine. I want to make sure there's nothing on there because I'm going to put the magical on first. And so I'm just going to tap it on the edge of that pad. Can you see how I did that? So I've got the magical without the UR. So I'm going to put the magical right here. Then I'm going to make sure it's well cleaned off. And then I'm going to do the UR. Magic. Again, that was done in the basic gray. And then the gems I wanted to use, these are those pearls from the online exclusives. It goes with the sweet, with the otters. You're otterly awesome. I just kind of like these flat pearls. They have kind of a little gray tinge to them. And a little blue gray, so I thought they were pretty with my little toadstools. All right, friends. There you go. Thanks for joining me. Gosh, have a great day. We'll stamp again soon. Bye.